underway. Slovenia versus Japan. First point, first set, first serve, and we are go. Sekita sets the pipe. Oh, it's off the hands by Ishikawa. Japan off the mark.
Japan not big on height, but man, are they physical out there somehow. Just high flying, super dynamic, and there's a good look at it right there. Ishikawa out of the gate.
I like to think that there are a few people who are watching Japan for the first time today, and if so, you're in for a treat. They play this game very quickly as Mozic volleys that one over. Good dig, nicely done by Erno. And they're hard to find the floor against. Oh, that's a monster block. Nishida shut down.
Mozic with a little extra point right there just to make sure that that was seen. Yeah, it did catch him on the leg on the way out. That was highlight stuff right there.
The thing is, when you got that big and that hard, when it does come down, it looks very impressive. Kozamernik with that float service. Oh, and that's touched the antenna on the way through. Shaky start here for Japan. And Slovenia taking advantage at 2-1.
A little bit of a miscue right there on the offense, but I love that the middle blocker sliding in and taking that short float serve right there. I mean, that's the level of ball control you're going to see out of the entirety of the Japanese team.
Kozamernik short, and it is on Adira again. Quick ball. Erno doing his best, but he hasn't got extra sensory perception.
Yeah, that was, we used to call that a little tea party where just two players are involved for the Japanese side. Onodera receives the ball, gets the set, gets the kill.
And again, it's a middle blocker making that first touch. Ran Takahashi. Mozic receives. Well worked by Shebo.
A lot of slam dinks going on that side of the court right now. This one a little bit more accurate. Had to be too, because Ishikawa was up there sealing that antenna.
1.91 Ishikawa, but we saw how high his head was above the net. Good dig, well played. Kovacic, now Mozic. Too hot for Nishida.
That's a great swing. High off the line blocker right there from Mozic.
Break point up then for Slovenia. Klemen Shibul. Nice pass into Sekita. Nishida. Maybe lots of that today.
I mean, just the contortion in his body to generate that immense force is phenomenal, isn't it? He just coils that arm all the way up and then uncoils it with violent force.
Taishi Onodera, 3 aces in the championship for him. Erno receives all the way over to Mozic. Good touch on that, and it's Onodera backcourt. Ishikawa. Oh, nobody home.
If you know anything about the Japanese people, they're very kind-hearted people. Ishikawa killing them with kindness right there.
Onodera. Erno again. Oh, brilliant dig. It's a free ball. Oh, and again. How on earth has Sekita done that?
Yeah, that's just an ability to maintain your awareness, right? Sekita obviously not expecting that fully, but in a position to where he can throw a hand at it when it does come. Watch this, has an arm out, throws that left hand at it.
That's not badly played by Rob Pratt. Against most teams in this tournament, that finds the floor. And that does find the floor. Payeng, ruthless.
Talked about the contrast of styles. That was a look at the physicality of Slovenia right there. Up big, hard into the, away from the body swing.
5-5, the break point cancelled out, and Rock Mozic. Oh, Sekita in the right place. High off the hands. Chance. Shebol shut down! Ishikawa with the monster.
Wow. Yeah, and just a little reminder to his coach. He said, "Coach, I got the solo stuffy on the left side right there." What a stuff from Ishikawa.
Sekita into Urno. Nice touch from Payeng.
It'll be interesting to see, because if we look at the defense of Japan, all three defenders kind of in the back third of the court as we get a look at it right here. So that's wide open. We'll see if he keeps going to that and if Japan makes an adjustment defensively.
Here is Alan Payeng. 6-6. Service error shouldn't be too painful at this stage of the set. Here's Ishikawa, full of the adrenaline that a stuff block gives you. Oh, big service, forces the overpass. And a block touch, still with Japan. Another good block touch. Oh, Koza Murnik working overtime and unlucky.
I mean,
Yamamoto in at libero for Japan. Another aggressive serve. Ace serve.
we talked about him at the top of the broadcast. He is delivering right now. Ishikawa on fire all over the court.
Urno off the hands.
That's just a classy swing right there. Set gets a little tight. Urno elevates, goes high off the fingertips of Nishida.
Now Ropret. 7-9. Nishida. Urno does well off the hands. Tina Urno.
That's a great swing right there again. Just going high and hard into the upper regions of the Japanese block right there, Urno. Great swing.
Ropret, 1-point game. Fires it into Ishikawa. It's quick, it's finished by Yamauchi. Well, we've got a moment as well. I've got to apologize to Yanni Kovacic. I've been calling him Kovacevic. He is Kovacic, he is a top pro, and he is in the firing line for this service. In fact, it hasn't made it to him, it's made it to Sheb Bull. It's so hard to find the floor against Japan. Nishida picks out Ropret. Another battle at the net. Urno. Sekita has to surge. Oh, it's huge! Monster block!
Yeah, Yamauchi's going to be a little disappointed that he didn't control that easy free ball a little bit. Created a little bit of a tough chance as we see the pancake that kept that alive. But then this well-formed three-man block right there. Yeah, kind of surprised Takahashi a little bit that third blocker got all the way over there.
Clement Shebul claims the plaudits. And Urno with a chance to level. Again, Ishikawa the target. And Onodira the recipient.
Yeah, I think the furthest out of system we've seen Japan is maybe on that last free ball. They have been receiving serve extremely well, as you expect from the Japanese squad.
Nishida. Little too juicy. Ishikawa already up to 5 points and already ticks in the boxes of attacks, blocks and sets. Oh, there's a long hang on that Koza Murnik serve. Takahashi misses out.
They had exactly what they wanted right there. The one-on-one on the pin, just off the tape and wide for Takahashi.
Here's trying to bite off a very generous angle then, wasn't he?
Indeed.
11-11, Kozemernik. Famous float serve of his into Takahashi. Oh, another massive block on Nishida. Woohoo!
Mozic, you could see him just dive those arms out to the left, seal that line. Let's take a look at it here. Yeah, just closing that down. Textbook stuff, shaping that entire block, particularly the left hand back into the court.
That's a couple of big ones for Mozic already. Sekita, Nishida, another chance. Can't find the floor. Shebel keeps it up. Mozic, great patience. Sekita recycles, so smart from the setter. And the rally continues. Kozemernik, all over bump from him. Second ball, third ball. Oh, Japan, 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 Japan.
I mean, what did we just witness right there, Dave? I don't even know.
Let's take another look and let's enjoy this. Oh, glorious. Glorious, glorious, glorious.
I mean, the fact that Shebel even got hands on that is impressive because both blockers in the middle and on the right front bit on that pipe swing feint.
12-12. Amidst all this eye-catching stuff, Japan are playing. The scores are level here. This is a really competitive first set. Payenk receives. Mozic! Again, it's a brilliant dig. This time, Nishida. And then Urno's in a great place. Off the hands. Well kept up by Nishida, who swings from deep. Thinks there's a touch. Referee disagrees, and Slovenia lead.
I think that was a good no call there. It didn't look like there was a touch, but how about the defense right there, particularly that read mid-rally from Urno to go get that chop inside the block.
Seeing very different defenses, aren't we? Japan working really hard to keep it off the floor. Slovenia making really good reads, really good decisions. As Yamamoto gets sent backwards. And Nishida squeezes one through.
A little extra hang right there, kind of caught it, waited a little bit here. Let's see. Catches it on his way down just a touch and sneaks it underneath the big Slovenian block.
And Mozic there on the left side. He's looking pretty imperious. You don't want to give him a chance to make another kill block as Onodira serves that one. There is Mozic. Good touch. Sekita on his knees. Great swing, Ishikawa.
How about the recovery? Sekita just slipping and falling, regaining his feet and just setting a beauty bump set out to Ishikawa for the high hammer to the corner.
Onodira floats it into Mozic, who wants it back. Well played, Ishikawa. Oh, brilliant up. Great work. Payenk. So close.
So close. Yeah, you mentioned this might be a generationally talented Japanese squad, and I have to agree with you. I mean, all of their guys jump setting, keeping players in rhythm when they're kind of out of system or in transition. I mean, it's phenomenal stuff we're seeing from the Japanese squad right now.
Onodira into Mozic. Three blockers up for Japan. Ropret. Shebel. Good swing. (14-15). We've got a game on our hands right here.
Indeed we do, yeah. Japan's look pretty comfortable, but Slovenia hanging tough here.
Mozic. 10 aces in the VNL this season. Heavy ball that into Ran Takahashi. Now free ball. Chance to level. Urno. Oh, can't do it this time. Nishida. Great dig, Mozic. Right on the net for Ropret. And Payenk dunks it.
Fantastic stuff from Mozic in the backcourt. I mean, could not have been a more perfect contact in position 6 defensively.
15-15. Some perspiration on the court, and that is no surprise. These guys are working hard for every point, both sides of the net. Proper knockout game so far. It means that Mosic can continue from the service line into Ran. Good one-handed touch. Kovacic, no. Can only find Yamamoto. Got some great rallies. No. Oh, unbelievable, Nishida. This is crazy. No can go again. Blockers are up. Another dig, Sekita. Nishida, unbelievable!
Are you kidding me, Dave? Just unbelievable stuff. Particularly, I mean, there's the swing that kills it right there. That classic Nishida swing down the line. And then the celebration, the blonde bomber. Love it, but that set by Takahashi mid-rally all the way by the bench, bump set over his head, was unbelievable.
Oh, Shebel just gets the hands wrong. It's an ace service, it's an unlikely ace, but that's a break point for Japan now.
That might be a big one. Kind of in good position, just the hands a little wide perhaps. And Gianni will call a timeout for Slovenia.
17-15, I think that's a good call as well. Let's have a listen in, see what he has to say.
Abbiamo staccato in pala alta, questo da qua arriva sotto, no? Ci prende tutti i palloni, l'altro va fuori, il libero è sempre qua, no? E gli altri stanno lunghi. Allora o lavoriamo su questa per prendere come hai fatto quella, è andata bene, o andiamo un po' più corta dentro, ok? Vai là, vamos!
I think after a mistake like that in a tight set, it is a good chance to just calm things down and go again, because they're only 1 point away from getting right back into this.
Yeah, I love that timeout because they had that long, exciting rally that went the way of Japan, ace on the back of it. You don't want to let things get out of hand because, indeed, you are just right there. It just takes one. And, again, I love that you've got Coach Cretu for Slovenia. He's from Romania. He's got an Austrian passport. He's coaching Slovenia. He's speaking Italian to them. I mean, you love the European just worldliness.
Kovacic, great pass. And then Mosic comes through on the right-hand side and does what Mosic does.
Great high swing right there from Mosic. He looks confident out there for such a youngster, doesn't he?
He's fantastic. Service off the net tape, Sekita. Oh, it was a good effort from Mosic, but another heavy hand from Nishida.
Yeah, he got up a little slowly too. Hopefully he didn't hurt himself. Kind of good second effort to try and go after that ball. You see it just elude him there.
18-16. It's been neck and neck for the majority of this opening set, but Slovenia just haven't found a way to edge themselves ahead. Good ball into Ropret. Shebel on the pipe. And this time even Ishikawa can't do anything with that.
Kind of a wry smile right there from Ishikawa. It's one of those ones you feel like you almost had it because it hit you, but
yeah,
really you were just lucky to survive, perhaps.
112 kilometers an hour. He is not playing games. Ropret very close to the service line. Mosic in a good spot. No. Off the hands, and just shows the contact they need to make just to beat the final defender for Japan.
We would call that actually a little bit of a misstep. You see Ishikawa a little bit shallow in the court, I would say, kind of sliding to the side of the set.
But it's 18-18. Great response since the timeout for Slovenia. Ishikawa dishes it and then comes through.
Like that though, set kind of had him extended, but he just carves it into the corner nicely.
Rare mistake. Not had many service errors from Japan in this first set.
Particularly from their float serving middles. Yamauchi trying to laser beam one in there. Just misses.
19-19. How deep is this first set gonna go? Here's Erno. Oh, it's close. Not that close, but a little bit of hearts in mouths for a second before Nishida goes back to serve. "23 years of age." And there we go. Those service errors like London buses.
Well, that's why you want your middle blockers to make sure that they're always making their serves so that you don't get those successive errors, because you want to unleash Nishida from the end line.
Kozamernik, he's been pretty consistent with his float serve. And that's another one in, making Japan work for the side out, and work for the side out they do on Onodera.
Just, we talked about the precision of their game, and watch Onodera just find a little space there between the blockers, and that ball is delivered perfectly.
After that frantic first 15-20 points, it's settled into a bit more of a rhythm now. Kovacic. Oh, yes! Tina Erno rips one.
That was perfectly executed right there. Middle blocker pulled both Japanese blockers up with him, and then Erno just gets the detonate as the Japanese blockers are falling to the earth.
Change being made here then. Stalekar coming in, all 2 meters 14 of him, so no recognized setter on the court for Slovenia, but a huge blocking presence front court. Shebel sends it in. Oh, it's close. What a lead from Ishikawa.
Yeah, it's all smiles for Japan after that does fall wide. A good aggressive high swing that time from Nishida. 2 meters 14, not easy to hit off of.
No, not easy to get through most door frames either. Kovacic over there to Mozic. Nishida's there in behind. What a set, what a swing.
Ishikawa is just so good right now at finding those ever so small holes in the Slovenian block and exploiting them.
Giga Stern coming in. He manages to pick up a point whilst on the court here. That'll be his 50th in this season's Volleyball Nations League. 23-21, Japan 2 away. Shebel, oh, straight down the line. Takahashi beating himself up about that, but that was a venomous swing.
Yeah, just had a little bit of scud on it, didn't it? Takahashi retreating a little bit.
Stern, oh, good service, forces the overpass. And we are level. Payeng pulls the trigger, and it's 23-23.
What a great serve that is.
Now it's Japan who call the timeout. As we take a look at that finish from Payeng, 23-23. It is well and truly game on here in Gdansk.
GQ loving it.
Loves it.
Guys, I remember you about to serve. You have to avoid the position of libero. Huh? You have to serve all the time outside the position of libero. Short or not short. It's important to go. Easy defense, come on.
Back-to-back points from Slovenia at 23-21. Japan are 2 side-outs away from a 1-set lead. Now we are neck and neck, and somebody needs a break point. Giga Stern coming off the back of that brilliant serve. Just a reminder of how well Japan have received, given that those mistakes stand out so much. Oh, another good serve. Oh, the block! It's huge! It's Payeng! It's set point!
Shock. Shock and awe. I mean, you have to credit Stern because he just came in 3 points ago, and already look at the impact he's made for Slovenia. Just unbelievable stuff. It's the only 2 poor receptions we've seen out of Japan.
Giga Stern goes again. Sekita really has to work. Oh, tiny, tiny margins to save the set. Well, Slovenia are going for a challenge here. Watch his feet.
I think they're challenging a touch, however. They were pointing at the center line. You're
Yeah,
right.
have his feet gone over the center line? That'll be what the challenge is for. Oh, for a block touch.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm wondering if they think that hit him on the way out. It didn't look like it on our replay. I think this will go the way of Japan, but how about that serving run from Stern? That one was almost another overpass. I mean, Sekita did an unbelievable job to get up, keep Ishikawa in rhythm. It still was tight. Ishikawa had to, I mean, look at the elevation right there.
Yeah, last touch Slovenia. It was really smart work in mid-air there, wasn't it, from Ishikawa. Oh, all right then. As you were, 24-24.
But what a turn of events this has been here.
Incredible. Payeng with the first touch. Brilliant touch by Sekita. Nishida recycles from backcourt. Takahashi, set point Japan.
Unbelievable right there. I mean, we saw him do that exact thing and feint it, said Nishida, and that time he swings away. I mean, that's next level stuff right there.
Well, they bring in Miyaura, so Nishida takes a seat on the bench. Sekita sends it on its way. Uno, is there a touch? Referee says no.
Miyaura pulled his hands down. Did you see that? Uno was trying to get it off the side of the block. Miyaura pulled his hands, and he went wide with that swing. That is an unbelievable play. He comes in as the blocking substitution and makes that play to close it out for Japan.
Welcome to the game, my friend. Let's take another look at this. Oh, genius.
Genius stuff right there. I mean, that's either tremendous scouting or just an unbelievably heads-up play from Miyaura, maybe a little bit of both.
What a brilliant opening set. Japan 26, Slovenia 24. Both teams with opportunities, nobody able to pull away. I mean, looking at these statistics, is there anything that really stands out for you there?
No, it's kind of surprising that Slovenia were the beneficiary of more errors on the Japanese side, but as we expect, Japan dug a ton of balls. We're kind of ahead in the attacks category as a result.
A receiver accuracy then, 35%, really good ball. 30, all right, 35%, not good at all. I think that shows the pressure they're under. Slightly better numbers for Japan.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, those numbers probably would have been even better until the last few serves from Stern. And how about the impact of the substitutions for both teams? Stern comes in, goes on that great serving run to give Slovenia the advantage late, and then Miyaura with that wonderful play to close it out for Japan.
So Japan 2 sets away from a semi-final, but with the way that ebbed and flowed, those teeny tiny pendulum swings, I think Slovenia will be confident they can get something from this game.
Yeah, certainly they should be, right? We kind of talked about for a lot of that set how Japan looked comfortable even though the scoreboard was fairly level. They had that run to get themselves to 17-15. Coach Cretu called a timeout wisely. Slovenia got right back into it, even gained the advantage late, but the composure by Japan was fantastic.
Composure being the operative word as well, because that was an incredible set from Sekita, wasn't it? Where he teed it up for Ishikawa. We had the challenge on it, but He's another guy. He's not the tallest of setters. He's 1m75, but his hang time there was quite astonishing.
Yeah, his control and his ability to run the offense of Japan with just absolute precision is off the charts.
Well, it's Ishikawa and Nishida who are leading the scoring. 10 points for Ishikawa. So much goes through him, but the way he plays, it's no surprise.
Yeah, he was fantastic. Just had a couple shaky reception contacts late when Stern came in and put in that brilliant short serve, and then followed it up with a popper.
There's the same 6 on court for Slovenia at the start of the second set. No change for Japan either. So Miyaura back on the bench, Nishida back on the court, and in fact it is going to be Yuji Nishida who is going to get us underway. And if this is a float serve, I'll buy you dinner tonight.
Fair enough.
Here we go then, Japan 26-24 winners of the first set. What does the second set have in store? We are underway. And it looks like you're buying me dinner. Was that the deal?
Yeah,
okay.
I'll get it for you at the hotel.
Brief glimpse of Kretu there. I wonder what's going to get him excited in this second set. Kozomirnik to serve into Ran Takahashi. Oh, Nishida. He has taken the heat off that, and Mozic very close. Two kill blocks already for Mozic. Got a good look at that one. Ran Takahashi. Big contact on Erno. Shebul goes for the volley. Oh, they've done it again. They have done it again.
Just fantastic stuff. You can see Sekita plays that ball perfectly to Takahashi right in the middle so that he's got both of those options. And Mozic, again, in great position there. Does well just to get a solid block in front of Nishida, but...
we're all bracing ourselves to get excited about a second ball pipe. Good service, Payenk. Shebul recycles, Mozic. Nishida's there. Ishikawa.
That's one of my all-time favorite shots right there in all of volleyball. I had a teammate, Riley Salmon, that would do that with some regularity, and that is unstoppable right there. The line defender makes a great move on it, but has zero chance.
Desperately grabbing at thin air. So you watch it whistle past you. That's the early break point up for Japan then. Ran Takahashi can continue. 4 in the reception line for Slovenia. And it's Mozic who's in the line of fire. Oh, free ball. Oh, Takahashi. The run-up he took for that.
Yeah, some serving run here as well from Takahashi. I mean, the elevation these Japanese attackers are getting is astonishing.
Onodira has done a good job on Payenk there as well, really taking him with him. Ran goes short this time into Erno. Mozic. Oh, he's cooked one right over the top of Sekita.
Sekita comes up biting his shirt. I'm not sure exactly what he thinks he should have done better here, because that was detonation from the rock on the left side.
Other than being 2 meters, not 1m75, there's not a lot else he could have done. Rok Mozic hits over much bigger guys than him, but that does end the service run. Shebul got one of his own. Yamamoto receives. Nicely done by Erno. Great touch. Mozic can only manage the volley. Oh, brilliant by Kovacic. Oh, is a handling error called on Rob Predator? Touch.
That is, I don't think that's a terrible call, but it's not a call you see very often against setters, especially if it doesn't fall all the way through their hands. Did come out a little helicopter-y. Tough break for Slovenia, as that was surely about to be a break point for them.
Onodira. Oh no, they need this one. And Pajenk has had some lovely touches.
Yeah, and he knows how the defense is set up against him, and so he just keeps going to that little palm ball away. Beautifully done.
He makes it look easy, but that's not the easiest skill, is it? Because if you overcook it, you're in trouble. Oh, now Mozic. He had to buy pizza for everyone earlier in the tournament. The ball went under the net. Yeah, that was in Nagoya in week 1. Didn't get the invite. Maybe next time. Oh no. Ropret. Oh no, goes again. Oh, touch on the way through.
Slovenia have to be a little bit careful here. Things are starting to fall apart just a little bit on their side. Japan still remaining pretty precise on their side of the net. Some mistakes starting to creep in for Slovenia, so Coach Cretu will call a timeout, see if they can stop the bleeding.
Watch out, guys. It's just about us, okay? It's here. We know exactly what we're doing, what we want to play. Sappiamo, se uno contro uno non gioca contro di te, gioca contro di te. Attenzione, con i centrali non è cambiato niente quando pareggiamo la partita. Tutto come abbiamo parlato, ok? Dai.
Well, if there's a phrase in the volleyball vernacular that translates to any language, it's side out. And that was what he opened that particular timeout with, and that's what they need. They need to get control and give themselves a chance. They've shown that they can get into contention. They hung on the coattails and nearly overtook Japan at the end of the first set. Can they generate the same opportunity here? Oh, he's just missed Shebol.
And Japan seemed to be content leaving that line open for him on that right side.
Which must be good scouting, because that is a bold move against a player of his caliber. Sakita into Pajenk. He's been impressive. We talked about Onodira receiving serves, but Pajenk has done very well throughout the game.
Indeed, and I love that play when the middle blocker receives, just go right to him. Everything's coming your way, all the momentum's in his favor. Feed the big guy.
And middle blockers love the chance to hit the volleyball, as Pajenk has just done there to Ishikawa. Goes round the corner, Mozic with a good dig. No, great block. It's Ishikawa again.
He's something else, isn't he? The Japanese fans love it. He's got some Nas tanks in his shoulder or something, because the pop he gets on that ball, unbelievable.
Here he is, serving heavy as well. No. Great hustle. Mozic. Over there to no. Blockers up. Yamamoto steps in. Sakita. Another great rally. Kovacic. No. Great winner. Tina no. And it's so important for Slovenia to start to win rallies like that.
Indeed it is. Yeah, it took him 3 tries. Tried the short tip, but Japan's going to be all over that pretty regularly. There's the one, just gets it to go right through the uprights of Yamauchi at the net.
Here's Ropret. Still a 4-point game. Ishikawa on the reception. Yamauchi doesn't manage to find the touch.
Got a little bit tight to the net, I think. And got that ball behind him and couldn't quite curl it in to the court.
(6-9). That's 1 point back. 3 to go. Plenty on that by Takahashi.
He pulled the trigger quickly on that one. Just beats Kozamernik, excuse me, sliding out there late.
Yamauchi. 10-6 again, goes short. Shebel's the first bit. Through all three of them, Clement Shebel.
Apologies all the way around from Ishikawa. It's a couple times we've seen him wrong-footed on defense back there. A little bit uncharacteristic of the Japanese side. Did rattle the block.
No, at 7-10. Good service, but a good pass by Ishikawa. Oh, Ran Takahashi, the audacity.
Oh, the audacity, just a touch of class right there from Ran. We saw him do the short shot where he just got the hand on top. That's kind of the power dink variety right there.
Nishida pulls the trigger. No, keeps it up. Shebel. Yamamoto, brilliant. Sekita, superb. Nishida can only find Ropret. Mozic, very well done.
Now you said it. It's important for Slovenia to start winning those types of rallies. How about the dig from Yamamoto on the Japanese side? That left-handed layout. Here's a look at it. So difficult to be ready for the hard-driven ball and then crash forward. And there's that swing from the Rock.
Urno's been a bit of an unsung hero in defense for Slovenia, though. Nothing he can do about that, however. Ishikawa on the pipe.
That's one of those interesting ones defensively, right? Because you watch the defenders kind of step in thinking that there's no block, and then at the last second, Payenk throws his hands up and it rattles off the top.
Run. No. Just nearly touched the ceiling. Ho, ho, ho! What a block on Mozic.
Ishikawa again. Oh, yeah. Just dropping that left hand in. Again, that's the look of surprise right there from Mozic. Can't believe that Ishikawa closed all the way out and got that left hand into the angle.
Giga Stern back in the game. Brock Mozic takes his place on the bench. He was, in case of emergency, break glass in the first set, wasn't he, Giga Stern? And he nearly turned it around for them.
Yeah, they broke the glass and they got the lift that they needed from Stern.
Straight into the passing unit he goes. He gets his first touch. It's not a great set. Good block touch, though, by Payenk. And again, great work by the veteran middle. Brilliant pickup. Ooh, I thought they'd got hands on that.
Well, it was interesting, wasn't it? Because the whistle didn't blow and Japan were already celebrating.
Oh, spent a little while in the hands, that as well.
Yeah, it does look dicey and super slow-mo, but it is a clean play from Ishikawa.
Uroš Planincic comes into the game.
Yeah, it's always interesting, the substitutions, right? Because you feel as though it's some indictment on you if you get pulled out, but more often it's just to try and change something about the chemistry, the rhythm that's going on your side of the court.
No, receives well again. Giga Stern. It's over on the second ball, but it's great defense. Oh, Payenk. Planincic, first set for him, yields results.
That first dig from Ron in the backcourt was unbelievable, kind of sliding. But look at the heater. And that's why Japan are deep on him, and that kind of tip is open. Payenk keeping him honest.
Ishikawa receives. No stopping that pipe attack. Ran Takahashi says, yes, please.
I mean, that's a phenomenal serve that just gets stuck by Japan, and they have every option available. Takahashi right up the gut.
Really important here for Slovenia, though, not to lose faith. I mean, you cast your mind back 24 hours as they go again. Payeng playing very nicely. Cast your mind back 24 hours. France looked washed at 2-0 down. They got some momentum. All of a sudden, we're in a fifth set.
Yeah, indeed, it was the service pressure of France that got them back into that match against the United States yesterday. And Slovenia would love to come up with something similar.
Oh, Nishida paints that line.
The fact that he's so precise down that line makes him so dangerous. Man, that's poetry in motion, is it not?
Sekita. Giga Stern receiving. Shebul down the line. Can only find Ran. Oh, whipped away by Ishikawa.
Just turned across his body. A buddy of mine would call that the no-looky cookie detonation down the line. Let's get a look at it here. Oh, yeah. Textbook stuff right there from Ishikawa.
All the indicators there is that he's going cross-court, and then it's unplayable. Timeout called, 17-10.
Nothing happened, we are here, okay? Ball by ball. We know how it's going. It's about us. We have two balls that he played on the short ways, okay? And this team, when they have the second outside hitter, 3 is coming for the pipe. That means our position 4 should wait still a little bit more, okay?
Hey, forma do konca, hey!
I think that look on the face of Rok Mozic says it all. Him and his Slovenian team are up against it here. But as long as Payeng keeps playing like that, they've got a chance.
Well, that's the thing, right? Japan hasn't had the answer for the middle blockers of Slovenia, but Slovenia haven't been able to get the ball up to the net and in the zone where they can set that middle enough to make it a factor.
Payeng, top scorer for his team in this game. That's his 10th of the game as Sekita sets from deep. Kozamernik can't control it, and Ishikawa goes again.
So impressed how the Japanese attackers, I mean, Ishikawa knows this block is well formed against him. No fear whatsoever, finds the outside hand of Erno for the winner.
Here is the captain. See what he was trying.
Of course, you immediately check the tape on your fingers.
Of course, of course.
Check the equipment, shake it out.
Definitely the ball's fault. Here's Planincic, who's come in as setter towards the end of this second set. He gets the first touch there, certainly Kovacic, who urges it on. Erno. Finds the corner.
Really classy play from Erno on the first ball as well, just to get it into the block, recycle it, so they can reset their offense. And there's the winner. Again, through Yamauchi's hands, finds the corner.
Needs a service run.
Love how calm Japan always look in serve receive, no matter what's coming at them.
Planincic. Oh, where's that dropped? Little bit wide.
Takahashi had a long look at the up rep just to make sure. It is indeed wide.
There's Mozic recharging the batteries, getting ready for set number 3. Imagine he's got a part to play when they come back out. Oh, what's that come off?
Oh, they're calling a lift? Oh my goodness, that's not a good call, I don't think. That is not a good call. That came off Sakita, who stayed on the ground with his hands up. Should be a legal dig.
Let's take another look.
Now, that didn't look like it was above the height of the tape there. He did come off of his feet, which is maybe why that gets called.
But it's not above the height of the net there, is it?
Yeah, unbelievably heads-up play from Sakita. It's going to get ruled illegal, I think incorrectly, unfortunately.
But it does take us to 19:15, so it's point for point since the first timeout was called at 7-3. Uno serves that on to Ishikawa. Nishida, oh, off the hands, and Yamamoto has to have his wits about him. Uno has to play it. Kovacic in at setter, Giga Yamamoto again, Sakita, and Ishikawa misses.
This is big, and yeah, again, winning those kind of rallies, hugely important for Slovenia.
Well, with that, 1916, Japan called the timeout. Cast your mind back, the previous timeout was called at 17-10, so Slovenia on a 6-2 run here. First time they've had any momentum in this second set.
Need to capitalize.
Good quality, passing, setting, spiking, both. Don't let them coming back inside the match. Allez, ready to go. Allez, go.
That 5 of the last 6 points. And what it does show us is how important it is for Japan in their style of play to be clinical, because as soon as they're not, they're in a little bit of trouble.
Indeed. And again, you have to credit some good serving from Ernal. Kept this run going. A lot of times, you know, it's how you capitalize on the breaks that go your way. We think that play where Sakita made that dig that went the way of Slovenia. Slovenia came back, got another one on the back of it.
Nishida close to the line, on the line, he's done it again.
I mean, you said the word clinical, and that was clinical. Let's have a look. I mean, Kovacic almost can't believe it because it goes over his left knee, which is on the line.
Here he is serving, 20 points to 16. Kovacic. Oh, short to Kozamernik. Brutal.
A little extra thud on that one. The big fella across his body.
Yeah, that made a different noise, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy who's built differently out there. I mean, he looks like he was built in a lab.
It's the first time his serves let him down. He's been really accurate with that float serve. I always feel bad for the middle blockers after they've made a service error and then they've just got to sit on the bench.
Yeah, but perhaps a little bit juiced up from that detonation.
His run. Again, Urno. Lovely first pass, Shebul. Yamamoto overcooks one.
Yeah, I love how balanced he is on defense, though. It doesn't quite get that one. A lot of pace on that swing down the line, but watch him just hold his position. Good stuff.
Shebul, 3-point game. Run. Sakita. Oh, they've recycled it. Oh, foretouch. That's bad luck. I mean, the bench are incandescent. Mozic is off his feet. Stalika.
And then one, two, four. First is the block. Hey, come on. No, not come on. Listen to me. Listen to me. The first touch is his touch. He's block. Then one, two, three. But down, when he hit the ball down. If you block here, it's not block. What are you saying? If you block here, it's not block.
One. 1, 2. Maybe a lift, but certainly not 4 contacts as we saw in the replay there. So at the very least, you have to say it's 1-1 in the bad call department each way.
Yeah.
I think both of those, unfortunately, were incorrect.
Well, Slovenia just need to wash this off. It's 1 point. But again, they can feel hard done by. Oh, and that's an overpass. And Yamauchi, when it rains, it pours.
Yeah. So both teams capitalized on a bad call that went in their favor. But this came at the absolute worst time for Slovenia as they were making a good charge here.
Onodera. Gigasturn, good first touch. And then it touches him on the way through. It'll go down as a block for Japan. And they are pulled away at the end of the second set.
Yeah, second look here, you can see it just hit him on that right elbow on the way out.
All probably going out as well. Here's Onodera serving for the set. Good float serve, Gigasturn. Oh, even Payenk can't find the floor. But that man Takahashi can, 25-18. Japan 1 set away from the semi-finals. Again, there are crumbs there for Slovenia. There are moments. But Japan, too strong, too clinical, especially at the start of that second set. As a result, they lead by 2-0.
It's fascinating, kind of the ebbs and flows of the volleyball set, right? Not even just a match, but within the set, you get Slovenia down big, 17-10, as you mentioned, and then they come fighting back, chip back, make a 6-2 run. One little call goes against them, and that just rights the ship for Japan just at the right time, and they close it out convincingly.
25-18, 26-24, Japan 2, Slovenia 0. Here are the stats. Again, marginally more errors by Slovenia, Japan shading the attacks. Now, 3 blocks. This is interesting because, you know, we make a big thing about their diminutive height, but Philippe Blaine said at the beginning of this Volleyball Nations League, we need to be a team that makes blocks. We can't just be the traditional Japanese team. We need to evolve, and we're seeing that.
We are seeing that. They're getting stuff blocks. You saw out-kicking Slovenia 3-0 in that set. But one thing that's been really impressive to me, particularly about the blocking, is that they slow balls down significantly. Even if they don't get the stuffs, they create immediate opportunities defensively.
We've got some replays here, but I can see Clayton Lucas down there. He's with Philippe Blaine, who's got a big smile on his face, but we can't talk to them just yet because the replay, in fact, we are ready now. Can't wait to hear this. Clayton Lucas is with Philippe Blaine.
Philippe, it was a very short chat with your team at the end there, and I saw you pointing to your head. What were you talking to them about at the end of that second set?
Yes, you know, when you lead 2-0 in a so important match, so yeah, with a long break like you have in the third set, so what is important is don't get out from the match, stay inside, focus, ready to restart for the first point with many aggressivities to keep the leadership on this match.
And what have you been pleased with so far in the match from your team?
My serve, I think we are working good, and defense, we are working good. Sometimes our side out can make better than we expected, so you will try to push a little bit more on side out to be more efficient.
Okay, thank you very much. Good luck.
A very happy man, and it's no surprise. We take a look at the attack placement there for Slovenia, favouring the flanks as opposed to the middle. They have been pretty accurate through the middle, though, particularly with Payenk. Had that one absolute monster from Kozembernik as well. But then a good spread for Japan too. 25% down the left, 25 centre, but then down the right-hand side where they have sent some rockets flying. But we've heard from Japan, it is Slovenia with work to do, and Clayton's about to find out what that work is.
There's 5 sets, there's 3 sets still to play. What have you guys got to do to change the rhythm of the match, do you think?
Honestly, we try to fix something, changing, you know, the setter, and even something about the opposite and outside spiker. But the problem is that we lost a little bit of confidence. You know, they are touching everything, we knew that, but it's frustrating when you spike and everything seems to be good and they touch a lot, they defense a lot. Their counterattack is really good. So right now we have to kind of be patient, keep going, and hopefully, if this lineup is good, the game continue.
So you've made some changes for the next
Yeah,
set?
we do. The setter number 3 stays in, and the opposite and outside spikers, they change position. So Cebul gonna play in his previous position, and Mosic gonna be like opposite.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you very much.
So Mosic back in the game, making big changes, and I think they have to, because it's all or nothing now.
Yeah, very refreshing, I suppose, honesty from DeCecco right there. I mean, he was saying the frustration that sets in when you think you've unleashed a good spike and then everything just keeps coming back and coming back. We kind of alluded to that at the beginning of the broadcast, but there's confirmation of it right there. And Coach Blaine for the Japanese side, I don't know, kind of spoke to the high standard that they have, because we feel like their side-out game's been impeccable, and he said, you know what, we got another level we need to find out there in our side-out game. So that's the level at which Japan are operating. That's the expectations they have. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see if these changes that Slovenia implement will have an effect in the way that they hope.
Uroš Planincic will be pulling the strings. Tina Erno, the captain, will be serving first. Will a change of ends mean a change of luck for Slovenia? They need it right now. Japan, 1 set away from a semi-final against either Brazil or Poland. It's coming up a bit later today, but all of our concentration is here. 3rd set underway with an error.
Yeah, but that's going to have to be what Slovenia try and do from the end line, right? As much as Coach Blaine thinks that the side-out rhythm is off for Japan, they always seem to be in system at the very least.
Well, you know the pressure's going to come from Nishida. Good contact, Cebul. Planincic. Cebul has to swing from deep, and Yamamoto sends it high. Run, off the hands. Back to that blocking game. It's Kozombernik and Mosic, just like it was at the start of the first.
Yeah, and helps to have a little bit of good fortune, because Takahashi just trying to play it into the block to recycle it, get the coverage, but it goes a little deep, and Yamamoto can't quite handle it.
Kozombernik back on the money with the serve into Ran. Good dig. Erno really has been excellent. And Mosic, the way he's watched that ball over the shoulder, brilliant swing.
Yeah, great footwork to get that high in his contact point. You see that steps, it goes off the top of Ron there.
But he'll be fired up as well. Openly says, hates losing, hates being off the court. So he is going to come out and he is going to mean business here.
Kozombernik, that's another miss. He can't afford though too many more of those, nor can Slovenia.
Run. Searching for the miracle ace.
I don't think he just missed that. It looked like a confident lead from Slovenia, but that was very close.
Mosic. Yamamoto feeds it in. Ishikawa. Beautiful set, beautiful swing.
That may well have gone over the top of the big Slovenian block right there. That's the elevation we see from Ishikawa. Yeah. Like Tenacious D say, that's elevation, Holmes.
Planincic sends it wide. Well, it's gone over. Oh, Ishikawa thought about the first swing. Payet gets a touch, but a touch is all it is.
That's so difficult with that tempo and transition. I mean, that thing never gets more than 1.5 meters higher than the tape. Payet almost gets it to rattle over.
Nishida. Again, Erno. Oh, wow! Wow, 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 Ishikawa!
I mean, that's another one. Just a tremendous close on the three-man block out there and drops that left in again. Just confounding the Slovenian blockers who think they have some angle, and typically they would.
That's his fourth block of the game. Nearest to him is Mozic with 2. 16 attack points and an ace serve. He's on 21. He is in a class of his own right now. He's got a touch on that too, but Mozic hits the winner.
That rattled his dome just a little bit. But he was very close to getting yet another block.
Get the man an aspirin, because that has hit him pretty hard. Mozic not playing games. Here's Shebul. Well watched, Yamamoto.
You get the sense that Slovenia feel as though they need to press from the end line. And I think they're correct, but they've just got to find the range.
Masahiro Sekita. Shebul receives. Ooh, taken on the second ball by Payank. Lovely by Yamamoto. Ishikawa. It is a brave man that takes on Payank in the middle of the net, but he is just oozing confidence.
Impressive stuff. Impressive stuff from Ishikawa.
Sekita gets another go. It's not the best of passes. Mozic. Yamamoto. Lovely ball in. Makes it so easy for Yamauchi.
One of the things I love about that right there, it's an easy ball over, but Yamamoto pushes the tempo of that pass to get the transition offense started in a hurry so Slovenia can't reset. And they run that quick tempo, the first tempo set right down the throat of Slovenia.
That scoring sequence then was pretty damning.
Indeed, you see some of the highlights from earlier in the set. Coach Coutu trying to will his team on to victory. Their body language isn't fantastic right now, though, I wouldn't say.
Not doing a huge amount wrong. They're hitting balls that against a lot of teams in this tournament would be finding the floor. Payank, it's been returned. Sekita. Oh, whip through Yamauchi. He's hit some form.
Japan almost went into the instinctive weave that we used to see in years past. After every point that they score, they would kind of do this weave around the court.
A little lap of honor.
Yeah, we almost got a throwback right there, but then they just settled in.
Payank. Oh, good contact on the serve. Run. Oh! Through he comes. Checking that Shebul hasn't got a nosebleed.
Oof. That'll ring your ears a little bit right there.
9-5. Good recovery by Shebul. Planincic out there to Urno. Rips it off the hands, and they need a little bit more of that.
Just a great, again, high swing into the hands of Nishida and wide.
Planincic. Three-point game. A lot of the second set was a three-point gap. That's a really good dig from Kovacic. And then Urno off the hands, 2 points in a row. Mozic is bouncing. He's out there like Tigger, trying to keep spirits high.
Another great swing from Erno on the left side. And sometimes, you know, it just takes one play to start a rally. That was a great, great dig from Kovacic.
2-point game. Yamamoto. Run. Can't finish the job. Erno can. Here we go. Slovenia right back in the mix.
The veteran coming through for them big right now, Slovenia.
Big turnaround this, forcing Japan into their, well, first time they've called a timeout in the first half of the set in the match.
And again, it's not as though Japan have done anything wrong, just some great defensive play from
We can remove
Slovenia.
hands, but if you keep it, you continue to protect diagonal, okay, with strong aggressivity. Okay, but first you need side out now. Allez, come on.
If for some reason this is the first game of Volleyball Nations League you've watched this season, the changes in the timeout rules mean that if you don't use your first one by the time the first team reaches 11, then you lose it. Hence the reason we had those late timeouts in the first and second set. Of course, Slovenia calling their first one at 7-3 in the second. It's a nice little tactic to speed the game up, particularly as it gets to the business end of the sets. But we are back underway. And Nishida does what Nishida does.
Nishida doing Nishida things right here.
Big time.
Swinging hard into the hands of the block. Johnny less than pleased with that defensive effort from his squad.
In short from Yamauchi. The touch on that by Kozmernik. Erno. Off the hands of Nishida. Another point. 1-point game.
Yeah, and sometimes, I mean, this will be good for Japan that Erno's rotating to the back row.
I'm not sure we're going to see much of this.
Yeah, we'll have to get a shot of that.
But the fans in the main stand are mimicking the first referee. They're all on their feet, only in Poland. Good service, and it goes again. Oh, great. That's how you side out on Odira. A point signaled by 2,000 or 3,000 poles.
Now, this is the class of Japan, though. I mean, they've been so good on the pins. We saw 40% of their offense going to the right side of the court, and yet they've been pushing the middle throughout this third set.
Here's Nishida. Into the big white ghost. Slovenia 10, Japan 11. This is a little bit closer to where the team in blue need to be. Kozmernik fed in well to Sekita. Oh, Mozic very, very close. He's always sniffing around, isn't he, Rok Mozic?
Now, you like to believe that touches lead to stuffs. But man, the speed of this Japanese offense and the class of their pin hitters might make that less than true.
Run. 2-point game again. Need a side out here. Planinsic, Erno from the backcourt. It's got to be clean or Yamamoto will feed. And Ishikawa will work it off the hands.
How about that dig from Yamamoto right there to get that going? It was almost another kill for Erno.
But if there's anything that takes any speed off, whether it's a block touch, whether it's the net tape, anything, any reduction in speed, and he is in there. Reaction time, sensational. This sends Mozic back. We've been short of aces in this game, haven't we? Is now the time. No, Yamamoto puts it on a plate instead. Brilliant by Kovacic. Shebel. Hammer fist by Shebel.
Kovacic started that off again. It was his great dig on the first tempo swing that kind of kicked off their rally that got them close to level. This one does get them level here.
Turned 33 in June, Kovacic. Played some great stuff today throughout the tournament. Run! Oh. Again, Kovacic puts his head in his hands after that. These guys hold themselves to such high account. I mean, you know that as an international libero yourself, but sometimes, what can you do when it comes in that hot?
Yeah, he just, it's one of those things where you're in position, it hits you in the arms, you feel like you should get it, but the reality is that the offensive player going to win that one more often than not.
Nishida with the first touch, Ishikawa with the third. Again, it's head in hands for Slovenia because they are so close. They're so close. On another day.
Yeah, it's really a nice move on the pin from Slovenia right there, but Ishikawa doing well to stay high into the more vulnerable hands.
Onodira. Furious with himself. It's a great facial expression. His first service error. Ishikawa now up to 24 points, 19 attacks, 4 blocks and an ace. Just a reminder, we're only in the third set. Play on, says the referee. Ishikawa, nicely done by Kovacic. Uno. Oh, run, lovely dig. Ishikawa, and we go again. Kovacic, Uno. Dug by Nishida, Yamamoto, Ishikawa!
Wow. Unbelievable defensive stuff right there from Japan. Because, or no, again, with some phenomenal swings. And that was, you know, heads up, Mozic, because we saw the hand pull get the win in set number 1 for Japan. Ishikawa was on it there and knew to swing at the court.
Marinčić, Mozic. Great work by Sekita. Nishida recycles. Not sure that's what he wanted. Ishikawa. Oh, they go again. Sekita. Ishikawa, too smart.
Yeah, and Sekita is just running a beauty of an offense right here because particularly from below the net, you feel like he's going to shoot it into his first tempo player. And then he just lobs it ever so slightly higher than that and tight so Ishikawa can work off the block.
Well, they're looking for the block touch again to see if he got the final touch because he's worked it off the hands. They've already challenged him once, looking for the same offense, and they were unsuccessful.
Effectively, I think this is a timeout is what it amounts to because I don't think there's any question that that was a clean play for Ishikawa.
Yeah, same ball. It's almost a carbon copy.
Yeah, he does so well to get that initial push into the block and then just kind of curl his fingertips so that he's not left touching it last.
Sekita. Top spins it this time into Pajenk, who gets it back. And that's a good play for Slovenia and has been throughout the tournament.
That's when you know you're dialed in as a blocker. Ishikawa upset that he didn't get this one as well. But I mean, what are you going to do? Pajenk up there big. And the wing blockers helping on the first tempo. Always have to lean in just a little bit so it finds the side of his arm.
Pajenk at 2 meters and 3 with a big jump, and Ishikawa at 191. And he's angry that he's not got on top of it, of a giant middle, a world-class middle blocker in Alen Pajenk. (18-14), 18-15.
Japan have to be a little bit careful here. They're having some service errors creep in, letting Slovenia hang around just a little bit. And we've seen they can catch fire.
Sekita. Oh, I love the way. Did you see the little check that he took then, just to see where the defense was for Slovenia?
Yeah, Yeah, and I love that little move he does with his hands. You know, you see a lot of setters taking it almost at full extension. He kind of absorbs it, plays with the tempo of it just a little bit, and then zips it out to his middle blocker.
Kovacic. Oh, Shebel on the pipe.
Here comes the boom indeed. Onodera all alone up there on the block, went with the first tempo. Sometimes you don't mind that as a defender, a clean look, but yeah, not when it's the big fella coming down the pipe.
Štalikar has come into the game to add some height at the net for Kozomirnik. Planinsic, no. Plenty on that. It's a 2-point game.
And that's going to be the strategy, I think, moving forward the rest of this set for Slovenia is feed or no whenever and wherever we can.
He now moves into the top scoring position. 12 points for him, all from attacks. Bettina Erno. Looking to turn that screw from the service line, but ends up gifting a point. Nishida. Oh, good service, and Kovacic does very well. Mozic. Ooh, taking a touch off Nishida. He picks up a point.
Like we saw earlier, having to follow that ball all the way across his body, does it beautifully here. Watch him get back, open that hitting window, track that thing, and stay high off of Onodera there.
Kozomirnik has come back in for Štalikar, and he goes straight to the service line. Oh, clips the net tape, Ran receives, that's dropped in. Oh, it hasn't, I thought he painted the line, Payek. And you can't challenge that now. When the computer says no, the computer says no. And 2019 looks a lot prettier than 21-18.
Yeah, it certainly does. Again, Japan content to run that middle.
Run. That's Shebel receiving. Mozic. Ishikawa can't execute the one-on-one. I mean, obviously you have to say that Ishikawa is the player of the match. But his little battle with Mozic has been really worth watching, hasn't it? They've had some great moments.
It has been. It's almost like we called it.
There is Mozic to Ishikawa. Ball still in play. No.
Oh my goodness.
That is a one-on-one. Onodera stands his ground. And that's a middle blocker's dream right there.
That was maybe the play of this set if Japan do go on and win it, because that was going to get them level. And the wide open net scoop from Kovacic on the first tempo, unbelievable stuff. And it's been his digs that have kind of kicked off Slovenian rallies.
We've got a challenge coming here. What are they looking for? It's certainly not the attacking position. Oh, net touch. No, flying through. There's the block. No, it was the ball that made the net ripple, wasn't it? It was such a good block, but the ball's clipped it on the way down.
Yeah, and that was a bit of good fortune there, because I wouldn't say that that was the most well-formed block from Onodera. He wasn't up big and over, just had his hands in good position, and sometimes that's all you need.
Well, you give yourself a chance, don't you?
Let's prepare for the side. After the side, I put Ziga inside for Uroš, okay, in block. Fine. If you are going to block in position 4, all the exclamative balls go opposite your sitting line. You close the line with the exclamative, okay? Inside of the transition.
All the big moments going Japan's way. They're a few points away from a semi-final. Kentaro coming in. He's coming in for Sakita. Big, tall middle blocker, especially by Japanese standards, 2 meters, 2 centimeters. He goes into the front court with Yamauchi and Ishikawa, so no setter on court. Planinsic, no setter required when Payek shuts it down.
A little bit of a smile from Kentaro. Yeah, he was already committed out to the left side attack. Kentaro also a Takahashi, which is why we go with Kentaro and Ron.
Chebol, 2022. Need this point. Ron receives. Here's the chase. Oh, just couldn't wrap his foot around it. Somebody put that really big, heavy video board in the way.
The video boards look great, but you don't want to test them if you're running at them.
No. 23-20. Again, a couple of these scramble points on another day. Slovenia make them. And this is where it's so much fun for Japan, because you bring Nishida off, you bring Miyaura on. And the two of them are absolutely lethal attacking players. Yamamoto. Oh, there's a net touch, though.
That was beautiful to watch, particularly from our vantage point. We saw that whole play develop. Yamamoto just slid inside that block. Unfortunately, his blocker's into the net, so it negates the dig, but tremendous defensive play there from the libero.
Payek, 21-23. Is now the time. Just one break point and they're right back in it. Good service. Straight in the game. Oh no, it's still alive. Needs to go. Does go. Superb.
Oh,
Miyaura,
you kidding me?
with a second bite at the cherry.
Yamamoto, unbelievable play right there. The difficulty, we just see the final kill there from him. Oh no, we'll get a look at it here. Watch this, expecting it short, it glances off the net and he still controls it into settable position. That is unbelievable stuff right there. Yamamoto keeping his team out in front.
Match point, the semi-finals beckon. Ishikawa just reminds us that he is human. What a performance from him. 26 points, 21 attacks, 4 blocks on 1 service ace.
Nishida, in 3 sets.
Yes.
In 3 sets.
Nishida, Payek and Urno all on 12 points. They've all had great games as well, but now serving to stay in the match. Ran receives. Ishikawa hits the winning point. Of course he does. His 27th of the match. Japan, jubilant. Of course they are. They're semi-finalists. They bounce